momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Saints on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. C.J. Anderson of the game. He gets it here. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. A give running left, it's McCaffrey. McCaffrey with a 1st down and more. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. A big run there, 29 yards and a 1st.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you talk about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
Pitching it out to McCaffrey. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Second down following the run. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him. Now Kelly to throw on second down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Fights loose. He's got the lane, and there he goes. Touchdown, Carolina.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Back now here live in New Orleans, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
The Saints on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Here's Kelly from the gun on third down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked off at the 35. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick six for a Panther touchdown. Oh, this is becoming tough to watch. I don't know that I've seen 3 pick sixes from the same quarterback in the same game.
And I know that many are going to scream at the coach about why did you let him stay out there to throw those. But truthfully, what are the odds that you're going to throw 3 pick sixes in a game? You want to leave them out there so they can work through some of the rough stuff.
And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And to give this time to the tailback. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the fourth quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock making him do it that way, didn't they?
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. And that'll set them back 5. And he'll give it here to his running back. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long. 3rd and 15 to be exact. To throw is Kelly. Off the bootleg. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 33. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game. And we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to try it out there and try and slow them down.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Now they try the right side here. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. The Saints on 3rd down, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Here we go. Watch it now,
Toss play. This is Anderson. And a big hit at the end of that one. He's knocked down hard. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. But he will be stopped behind the line as he will not come close to the marker. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. The Panthers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. He's got a 1st down and more inside the 30. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints coming out now to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say,
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Eli Harold in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
2nd down now after the sack.
The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. Let's go to Adam Schefter now, who's got more to say about the Lions' latest pick.
This kid is an explosive defensive talent. Sadly for fans of college football, his career came to an abrupt end after he suffered a grade 3 groin tear while attempting to make a tackle. After surgery, weeks of intensive, platelet-rich plasma therapy, and months of strength training of the affected area, he looked like his old self when he took the field for his pro day. Some scouts in attendance even felt as though he looked stronger and faster than before the injury. I'd expect him to get reps with the first-team defense come training camp, and don't be surprised to see him starting in Week 1.
The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. You